Lisbon. How are you doing? How are you feeling? So we are welcomed here for SWNFM 3 with Enrique Hardbark. Finally got the dude's name. That took a while. So due to the way we just want to organize time and whatnot, we're gonna start off straight with the interview. Let me just pull it up out here. I'm gonna pull up Hardbark's set from Looks. It's gonna be playing in the background. I will put it in the description as well, so feel free to go and check it out. Go listen to it. It is his opening set on the 22 of August 2024. He opened up for Genewise. I was there. I saw it. I was bent as hell, and it was good. Shout out for that one as well. Didn't quite tell you, but that was a fucking banging ass set. But yeah, without any much further ado, I'm just gonna put here on a good volume. I'll leave it from the beginning. Okay, is this good? Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so yeah, man, we've already been talking for a little bit just before coming here in the booth, just to as well get a bit more acquainted with each other. Oh yeah, by the way, the intro tune was from Dub Corp, LB Dub Corp, our guy, his one and only. Golden Star, this was released back in May 2024. It's not a new release, but I thought it was a good intro tune for today. So, well, that's that. But yeah, back to the interview. Okay, so the first thing that I ask everyone, and I think it's like a pretty much fundamental question. And let me get up. So yeah, we're gonna be sharing a mic, so the sexual tension might be a bit high. Just get over it. Okay, let me do it like this. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so first and foremost, how was it beginning the electronic music journey? We were talking before about listening to more commercial techno, more to the how was it?
Yeah. So basically, I started to listen to electronic music in around 2014, 15, and yeah, I started with techno. It wasn't the kind of techno that I listen to nowadays, but it was what I had available back then. And then after some years of going out and having some tracks downloaded to listen on the car and shit, I just started going more to festivals and to different parties. And yeah, there was one in 2018 that really changed my shift in my taste in electronic music. It was in Neopop in 2018, where I got to see Freddie K.
Shout out Freddie.
Yeah, he's just a legend. And yeah, I saw him because I really wanted to listen to Dax J. He was playing closing the festival, and I was there before. I didn't even know who Freddie was, and then I just got amazed. From then on, there was just no turning back. Yeah, it was I got hooked.
Man, I can fully get that. And it's really interesting that you can really pinpoint it to that one set.
Yeah.
It is always there one set that just fucking changes everything.
Yeah, I think that I had quite a few of those that I can tell that they really shifted my way of looking at things, and sometimes my way of playing and building a set, and yeah, the way I look at a set more as a journey and not as a just a showcase of tracks.
Yeah, instead of just playing straight bangers, being able to do the whole journey.
Yeah, and I had
the ups and downs.
I had for example, I went to DVS1 all-nighter in Village Underground in London, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And that being there from the really beginning until the very end, seeing and listening to a night grow from nothing and getting to that climax point and then just bringing it down was just a whole new perspective that I got from a night out that I didn't know so far. So yeah, and that's something that it definitely changed my view on music and on DJ sets. Yeah.
Man, that's fucking beautiful. I recently I was talking to you about that as well. I saw DVS1 at Buzzilar, and man, that shit fucking wrecked me, honestly.
Yeah.
The way he bends stuff, it's so seamless.
Yeah.
I've never heard such a seamless set.
Yeah, I mean that guy is a wizard, man. It's like
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
He's a fucking shaman. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
he took all of us somewhere. I never saw that so many people in this at the dance floor at the same time. It was really something. Man,
Yeah.
just to like segue into a different one. And this one I'm curious about. Why Hardbark? Like where the fuck does the name come from? 'Cause it's such a peculiar name. I really want to get that.
It's just, man, it's so weird because I started having like I just started to play music at like for myself because I really enjoyed like the tracks that I had and I wanted to listen to them at home. And then we threw some parties with some friends where I played my tracks and like, but I never thought that I wanted to be a DJ. So it's like I never thought of a name. And then I got invited to play at a party. My first party was in Croissant.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Legendary
ages
spot as well,
ages
yeah.
ago, and I had to pick a name like super short notice, and I was like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, and then a friend of mine just told me, man, why don't you name yourself Casca Grossa? Or,
Casca Grossa.
and I was like, wow, that's kind of it's kind of something, you know, because Casca in English is bark,
Yeah, okay.
and Grossa it's like kind of hard, so yeah, hard bark. And I'm like,
Yo,
yeah, this is
okay.
kind of sick. So yeah.
That makes way much more
Yeah,
sense
it was.
now.
Yeah, it's a
I
bit
always thought it was
dumb, but
like-
yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense now that you explain it. I fully get that. I always thought it was like bark for like a dog bark. So I was like, why the fuck like a hard bark, like a hard roof?
Yeah,
Oh, what the-
it can have like various interpretations, honestly, but yeah.
But that makes it even better, you know? Like you have one name and it's just like, oh, Casca Grossa, fucking Latido. What the
Yeah,
fuck? What is
yeah.
this? Where the fuck does this come from?
Yeah.
Did you used to play like in Croissant a lot, or was it just that
I think
one
I
time?
played there 2 times. The first time because then they closed and like they had some problems. This was always during COVID. They had some problems, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you had to do what you had to do during COVID, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. That's exactly what it was, yeah.
But it's interesting because like me myself as well, like I started with this more like taking techno a bit more seriously, listening to more like the proper stuff, the more like I want to say mature techno because I know that sounds a bit like popish or like yeah, you're listening to mature techno. But it's
Yeah.
like I started taking techno more seriously during the quarantine as well, and I feel like a lot of people did that. It was like a curse for some people. You're like, for example, if you're already in the industry, you were like fucked because you were like, well, no gigs, just me myself at home, no inspo, like there's no way for me to get stuff. For some people, it was the complete opposite.
And I think something that also really helped was like before we had like the parties that we had here in Lisbon, at least like the promoters weren't bringing like those like more out of the box names. They always booked like people from like that they knew that they would sell tickets, you know, like established names. And sometimes those like established names they are definitely good and that
Yeah,
they're
but
but
it's just
those
another
styles
set.
they sometimes like they go out of fashion and that's not what people like are enjoying at the moment. And I felt like during COVID everyone was listening to a lot of podcasts and what you get suggested is like what the majority of the techno people like all around the world, not just Portugal, are listening. So we got to listen to some different stuff that we weren't like they weren't available for us at the time here. So yeah, I think it was very good for us and for everyone to listen to like loads of different people, like to really like refine their like what they are really into. And yeah, because one thing is to be out on a party like fucked or just like and you don't like
Yeah, you're not paying as much attention.
yeah, and the other thing is like to being at home in your living room, like it's not every
You're
kind of
fully
music
focused, just,
that
like, listening to
that
that.
can really get you through it, like being completely sober, like on your couch, you know. So yeah, I think that helped a lot. Yeah.
Man, that is preach.
Yeah.
Preach to that. Preach to that. That takes me to a different one. So you already told me before, but so you started DJing this whole croissant thing and the free
Yeah.
party scene and during COVID, and eventually you picked up producing. Did you pick it up because you wanted to produce? Like, was there? Because I'm gonna talk about my experience and just let me know if it's the same for you as well. It's like I feel like there's a certain roof that you will eventually reach if you're just DJing. Like if you really want to develop your own voice, if you really want to develop your own sound, you eventually need to take the jump into producing. Was that something that motivated you to produce, or were you just really just curious for it? Like Like, what brought you to producing?
I don't think like that a bit. I think like I feel like there's some DJs that are just good DJs.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie.
I mean, yeah, the top three guys that are my top three DJs, which are DVS1, Rodad, and Freddie K. Okay, Rodad, yeah, Rodad and DVS1. Okay, they have some tracks, but like
yeah, mostly DJs. Yeah, they're DJs first.
But they are DJs, you know, and like and they definitely got their sound, you know, and they don't need to make music to get their sound and to have their sound. So I don't think I started like producing like to get my sound, because even sometimes like right now, some of the tracks I make are not 100% the kind of tracks that I play. Yeah, sometimes some are, some aren't, because I just make music by heart and like by feeling, you know. I don't go with an intention. I don't. Sometimes I might have like a rhythm in my head or some element that I know I want to build around it. But most of the times I sit on the computer and I see where it takes me. So sometimes I go to more like techno. Sometimes something more something more like stripped back. But yeah, it's that I feel like I started making music just to to express something and to like feel like I'm adding something, and then I'm like expressing myself like in music, and it's something that it's like it's accessible, you know. It's like you can very easily like do like crazy stuff. So yeah, I think that was
the main point. Yeah, man, I fully get that, because like again, I started producing I produced hip hop like way back then, but I kind of don't count that. When I started producing and wanting to be like, I want to make techno, like I couldn't get anything that was proper out, because what I was feeling was the more atmospheric stuff, the more dubby shit, the more just playing with melodies. And it's like I feel like creatively nowadays I have like two moods. I'm either like I want to mix, when I'm mixing it's like proper techno, like techno, and when I'm producing it's techno as well, but it's more like towards the dubbier side, more ambient, more atmospheric, more emotional. It's like there's two different things that you just want to like let out.
I also think that's kind of part of the process, because to getting a track like sounding like super sharp and professional and like driving and pumping on the low end, like these like tracks that we are used to listen to and that we buy and that all the DJs play, it's super hard, and it's like it takes years and years. It's not like a secret formula that you go and learn on YouTube. It's hard to get there, and it's much easier for you to just build, like create some melodies and like add some like more spaced out elements. So I think it's part of the process for any producer to start like creating some more deeper and like more experimental stuff on the beginning, before they master the low end and like those elements of the track. So yeah, I think that's just part of it, and we just have to embrace it. And
Have you ever noticed, like when you go to check like 'cause at least I feel that when I find a new artist, I always try to like find what their first releases were, because that's where always the weird shit is. Like the weird, really off kilter shit, you find it in those like first one or two albums. I find that shit so interesting.
yeah, that's true, man. I spend a lot of time digging, like going super deeper on like the artists that I find, and yeah, I think it's important for everyone, for every artist to be like, not to be ashamed or to be like to keep changing the styles that he produces, because that's just how it is. Like even if you look at a painter or even a singer, like they change, you know, throughout the years. Like people change and the vibe changes a bit, but yeah, the essence is always there. So it's like
Fully get that, man. I wanted to ask you some things regarding the parties that you've been working on, but I want to stay on this producing topic a bit more, because there was something you were talking like when we were talking about outside, about like the process of getting stuck in the loop. Because like I talk to a lot of people that are also like starting producing for a year, producing for 2 years. I have a friend of mine that's obsessed with getting at least 100 tracks out. He's like, I will only put something out once I finish 100 tracks.
Okay.
and that's just his view.
Yeah.
I'm always like, bro, and that's too formulaic. You know, it's like you get stuck in the loop, in the loop, in the loop, and like, what is your process to like getting out of the loop? Do you have a formula? Like, do you have anything in your mind, like when you go to produce, or you just like sit down and just let that shit roll?
Yeah.
Like, what's the process?
I think, I don't know, like as I was saying, like every track is different, and like being an artist and producing, and like it's super hard, like to it's like I don't feel like there's anyone that fully knows 100% about everything about making music, because it's like you always learn stuff, and like your chain of work, like it's always changing, like it's not something that it's a formula that works forever, because there's always like new shit coming out, and like man, it's something that you grow and you change, and then and when I produce, like I've done like multiple ways, like in the beginning I was like super stuck on loops. It's super hard for me to get out of them and to actually arrange the track to make it a final track. So yeah, I just started to looking for workarounds that, like I was telling you, like focusing on the parts that I was feeling that I was like weaker, because that's hard to do, because you when you go on a software that you maybe you just know like 5% of it, you just you feel like you want to focus yourself on those 5%, and it's hard to go out and like risk more and just like go like and force yourself to work on the things that like you're not so strong. So yeah, I started with the arrangements, like I started to build the track and start the track just from the arrangement, and that helped me to finish tracks. Nowadays I don't have many loops to finish. I start a track and I finish it, you know. If I feel like I should finish, I finish it. If I don't feel like, I just delete it.
You just delete it.
Yeah.
So you don't even save those loops. You just like fucking delete it.
No, yeah. If I like, I get 3, 4, 5 elements and I'm not feeling it, just like
next one.
it's a process of like maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, I just delete it. If I feel like
you learned something in those 20 minutes.
Yeah, of course. But if I feel like it's not something that it's working, like I will learn why it's not working, and like next track I'll make something different. But yeah, in response to what you were asking, like when I sit down, I just sometimes I feel like I have some elements in my head that I know that I want to use. Other times I have no clue what I want to use. I just open a synth and just start like messing around with it and see where it takes me and build around that. Some other tracks I feel like no, I want like to make this kick pattern or like this like kind of vibe, and I go for it. But it's like every time it's different. There's no like formula. Yeah.
That's one of the beauties about music, man. Just let that shit flow. It's like a fucking river.
Yeah.
I fuck with that vision, honestly. Really do. Okay, so moving on to a different topic. The parties. I have to talk about roast, man, because I went to the first, the second, the third one. That was the third, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I missed the second one and went to the first and the third. Brother in Christ, that is what I've been needing my whole life. To go out on Sunday and get fucking blasted during broad daylight and have fun with my friends. That was prime time. It was good music. The vibe was spectacular. Like, I got the invite from Lucrezia as well on the WhatsApp, so I was like, okay, this shit's gonna be selected. I'm not gonna be like in a packed looks like a fucking sardine. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I noticed that you guys like took the whole summer break, which is typical whenever festivals come around.
Yeah.
So did you guys have any more plans to do anything soon? Or?
Right now we're just keeping it on the low. We're just definitely working on this winter season. And you'll definitely get news from us.
Hey.
But yeah, I can't really share much at the time.
Okay. He's got the NDA. Okay.
Yeah.
He's got the NDA. Hold up.
But what I can say about those parties is like the concept like grew between like a group of us, like 5 friends. We just thought that Lisbon was really missing something that was just like strictly music oriented, focused and orientated, you know. It's like it's the schedule that the parties are on, like from midday until 8 in the evening, makes it like on Sunday, makes it like that not everyone ends there, you know. People just go there because they really want to go there, and like it's some place that you know that everyone around you are vibing at the same, like, are on the same level,
thing,
you know? Yeah, beating to the same drum.
Pretty much. Man, I slept the whole Saturday just to make sure I had energy for the whole thing.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's good because like we try to focus on things that sometimes are a bit overlooked here on in Lisbon. Like, for example, like longer sets. We have few DJs on a night, just to allow every DJ to express themselves for the longest that we feel like it's.
That's necessary,
That's
yeah.
necessary,
Like,
exactly.
Especially techno, and I have to say that that's very noticeable in the sets that you play. It's like you go to a lot of places,
Yeah.
and you're able to go from one place to the other very seamlessly and very carelessly.
Yeah.
It's like you're just poof, poof, and it all makes sense, you know. And you're only able to build that if, first of all, the crowd wants that, and second, if you have the time.
Yeah, you definitely need the time.
So, like, do you have like a special time? Like, what is the best time for you in a set? Like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4
I would
hours?
say like the minimum for me to like to really say, okay, this is a slot that I can make something is like 3 hours. I would say.
Got it.
3 hours, because
Got it.
the first hour, like, and I think like this is also because I'm just been doing this for not that long. It's been a while, but it's not that long. So I would say like that sometimes it can take me like
Just to
30
get in the
to
zone,
40
yeah.
minutes, like to just get in the zone, get to
I
like
get that.
really comfortable in the booth, and just like knowing what works, what doesn't, like getting to see how people are reacting to the tracks. Sometimes it's quicker, but yeah. And then I need like at least one hour and a half to just get the energy going, like to get the crowd, you know. And then the last hour usually is just like the more special part, where I just lay out the secret cards. And
Yeah, it's like, hey,
and where it's like
hand them over.
deeper stuff, and like
Yeah.
when I fully know that the people are into it. So yeah, and then that's
You're able to
basically-
risk more. Yeah.
that's basically how I think of how I build my set. Like I never ever like like have a pre-made set. Like I just have my USB with like 2,000 tracks on it, and I just have playlists that I have that I select by vibe. I have like the vibe, and like throughout different time sets of the set. You know, like some tracks that work on the beginning, tracks that work on the middle, sometimes tracks for the last hour, you know. I divide it by that, and then I just play what I feel like works at the time, and
Man, that makes me to again, it's perfect. You're segueing into the perfect questions.
yeah.
Because one thing that's very important for me, and it's like throughout the past, like 3 years, I'm still yet to feel like I've found like a good method that works, is organizing the tracks. How do you do that shit? Do you do it by colors? Do you do it by sounds? Do you have like peak time, opener, deep stuff, hypnotic, groove? Like, how do you do it? You just do it for this pop?
That's pretty much how I do it. Like I have my set. I have it in the tracks I have. The way I buy tracks, I separate them into two main things, which are some tracks I look at when I listen to the track. I listen if this is a good roller, if the bass line and the kick, if they're punchy, and if like they are fat and they can drive the mix. And
They're more like layers.
or if they're more like layers, if they have a melody, if they tell a story. So like when I'm playing, I always have at least one or two of the like more driven tracks playing, and then one melody track just telling the story.
Interesting.
You know, so I have split it on those two folders, which are like tools for the low end, and like the more textures.
More for the top end.
Yeah. And then inside those two folders, the two folders are also split into like set times from beginning,
Okay.
setting the vibe, driving,
Like
peak time,
yeah.
entering last hour and last hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Has that been working out for you?
Yeah, like seamlessly, and
Nice.
then I have like loads of tags. Like every track of mine, I put loads of tags. Like,
Okay, so like you use
so
the record box tags, or just like write
No,
it?
I just put it like inside brackets. I just write like some like this is like
Detroit, deep,
yeah, vocal,
sign, bleep,
yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That reminds me of what I saw in the DVS1 masterclass, the one he did on CJ. He mentions exactly that.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
like every song has at least 3 tags.
Yeah.
So it's like you limit yourself to 3 tags, and it's whatever your brain recognizes.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, sometimes
Because like sometimes you have so much music, you don't even know what that track
no,
is.
it's impossible. It's
Really?
impossible. Yeah, it's impossible for you to know every
Yeah,
single-
exactly.
Or-
You need to have
or
an
you're
organization.
or you're playing the same tracks. Over
Pretty
and
much,
over. Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much. Which you just feel stagnated if you do
Yeah,
like that. It's
yeah.
not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
For me, half of the fun is just like making that shit work on the spot.
Yeah.
It's like you listen to it in the headphones, you're like, it's gonna work. Then you put it up and you're like, okay, wait, no, maybe not now. Okay, maybe let me loop it a bit longer. No, when do I? Okay, then you look up. Okay, that's the feeling for me. It's like
Yeah.
you're zoned in.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so just to finish up with this whole like set thing. So like, what would be your like ideal set time slot? Like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Are you opener or closer?
That's really hard. That's really hard question for me.
You like to
because-
do all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think
get
right
it.
Now,
I get it.
like probably my least favorite slot would be like peak time. Like,
Least favorite.
Least favorite slot would
Interesting.
would be like middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer either opener or closer. Yeah. Either one of it because I feel like
How so?
because I feel like it's as important in the beginning of a set as on the end of a set to
Fully
be
with
like
you.
to go a bit deeper, you know.
Fully with you.
Firstly, because on the beginning you're playing slower, so if you're playing like boring, slower stuff, you
Yeah.
like it's just shit. You need to
Yeah.
play something that it's deep, that plays
Yeah.
with your mind, that just tells you something, you know.
Yeah.
And then you grow into something a bit more loopy. That's when it comes the peak time with something a bit more loopy, just like to get you like on that hypnotic state, you know.
Yeah.
And then on the end, it's the kind of the same vibe as in the beginning. You can go in much deeper and like experiment more and like
Yeah,
And-
but that less time slot, man, when you just have the real heads in the floor and you can
Yeah.
really just like, okay, I'm gonna fuck you a new one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
tear you a
yeah.
new one, baby.
yeah,
And just go deep in the fucking mayonnaise. I
Yeah.
fucking love that.
yeah. I think that's my favorite.
But it's
just
interesting because
scrolling,
I feel like the trend, so to say, is to just want to play peak time. Like whenever you're scrolling through IG,
Yeah.
you just see like those. Everyone's posting like the peak time tracks, peak time,
Yeah.
peak time, and everyone wants to be a peak time DJ.
Yeah, right
So
now
it's-
it's hard to actually find good tracks online because I find good stuff, but then I go and see it's like 145 BPM.
Yeah, it's
145
way
BPM.
too fucking fast.
And then you slow
Too
them
fast.
down and they just
They lose
empty.
it. They lose
They're
it. Yeah,
empty.
they lose
Like,
it.
super slow. They just feel empty.
Yeah, I fully get that. It's interesting that you have that struggle because I've been lately, like when I started, I was also like on the wood 40, wood 44. But
Mhm.
the longer I play, the slower I get.
Yeah, same. I also started 142 and then got slower. But I also think it depends. It definitely depends. Depends on the party. Depends on the crowd. it
Sometimes
depends
they
on-
really want those 140. You gotta
Yeah,
give it to them,
yeah,
you know.
It depends on who you're playing before. It depends on how long you're playing. Like, it really depends. I would say I play like from. I have tracks at 80 BPMs, but like I would say when I get kicks starting going on, I would
Okay.
say I'd play from 128 until
Okay.
140, 142. Yeah, it's like my absolute limit, and it's almost never happened.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Just to not cut you on your set time, gonna finish this with the last one. Is there any projects, parties, friends, family, anything that you want to shout out or just like put out there?
No, just the only thing I want to shout out is the roast parties. Yeah, if you
Hey, shout out Rose.
if you don't know them, just get to know them. Yeah, because
And if you know, you
they're
know.
coming back. Yeah.
Fucking pull up the roast.
And yeah, and that's it, man. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and yeah, hope for the best.
Hey, man, it was a fucking pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to come.
Eventually, want to see you around more times in parties, hang
Yeah.
out, and let's definitely get a couple beers after this shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
so I'm just going to leave your set playing. Up
Mhm.
until then, you have the CDJs, do your thing, just like push this fader down, and it's all you.
Okay.
When the timer here strikes 1:15, I'll come over and
Okay.
you can go on your life. Because you have
Okay.
the Vertis thing today, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
You
pull
go,
up the
go.
Vertis, people. Vertis events. Go check that shit out. This was Hardbark, and I am gonna let him do his thing now. You're gonna be playing most of your tracks, right?
Yeah, I think so. Think so.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
people, enjoy and see you in a bit.
You hear? fades away, fades, and finally disappears. Curious world, this, isn't it? Because you hear all the realities in it, the sound, suddenly coming out of nothing. You don't see any reason for them to begin, they just appear, and then they echo away through the corridors of the mind which we call memory.
Yo, 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 what the fuck is up? Hardbark, man, people, claps. Gonna say something for the people out there? Anyone listening?
Yeah, just thank you for listening. Yeah. This is the first time I played only my tracks. Yeah, so.
First time you
Yeah.
played only your tracks?
Yeah.
Bro, that was solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm excited to see a set of you that is just like your shit, honestly. Like, I'd die to listen to that. Okay, so next up, we have Deca, released on Tar Hollow. This is Exit. The track is also called Exit. It's pretty loopy, very, very loopy, very, I wouldn't say mental, but more hypnotic, very raw, very bleepy. I'm gonna leave you to it. We're starting the premiere section, so now we're just gonna be listening to like the fresh releases. This was back in September 27. Again, released on Tar Hollow, a Netherlands label. It's really good stuff, very solid. Really like this LP. First LP of the label. A lot of really good shit in here. Either this or Keeps Rising. It's one of my favorite tracks, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you to it and shut the fuck up. Just enjoy the tune and see you in a bit. That's a very Thule track. Jesus. Love the sound on that. They're like, wow, wow, wow. Perfectly crafted. Deca, on his latest LP on Tar Hollow, Exit. This is really pristine release. Love what he did here, man. It's just like really loopy stuff. The whole EP is just made of like 12 tools. Again, as I mentioned, Keep Rising might be up next with me. But Exit made a bit more sense, just to keep on the deep vibes that Enrique said. Bro, again, Enrique, your shit slaps. Fucking release it, man. That was beautiful. Okay, so next up we have Dynamic Forces on a Dolly. If you don't know the label Dolly, it is Steffi's label, the Berghain resident. She has a pretty good output, honestly. A lot of really interesting stuff. This specific release by Dynamic Forces is very patty, very emotional. It's good whenever you just want to introduce some emotion in the set, like bring people up, bring people down, just some more emotion, you know, like cut through all of that hypnotic stuff. This is part of her. Well, I can't remember, but this is part of a specific set of releases that she does, which is like vinyl only. So you're listening to the premiere on YouTube, but this is a vinyl only release. So if you want to actually play this shit in the club and not play the MP3, go buy that shit on vinyl, go mix that shit, go spin it, and I'ma shut up and leave you with a tune. what a beautiful track. Oh my god. Very full. Very, very full track. This was the B1 called Ending by Dynamic Forces. Again, released on Dolly 12 days ago. Vinyl only. This is really good, really uplifter, really feel good techno. Pretty heavy on the hi-hats, not gonna lie. But man, sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes that's what you want. I could easily see De Niro playing this shit, honestly. Like this would be like a Buzzylar second day closing track, easily. Okay, so we have a couple more premieres. I'm gonna try to speed things up and not talk so much today, because I also have a couple demos from the community to share with you guys. We have Moai, the one, our first guest, with his something that he's been cooking, a little bit more techish, and we got something as well from Wide Await. So yeah, I'm gonna speed this up. Right up next, we have Hiyush on his new EP called Float. This was released on Analytical Convenience, and guess where this label is from, people? Porto. That is right, a Portuguese label from Porto. Really, really, really solid release. Like, I had a really hard time picking which track to actually play for you guys. We're gonna go a bit more deeper, a bit more, I wouldn't say mental, but definitely a bit deeper with this one. Yeah, man, like, I'm just let the track play, let the track do its work. This one is called Rise with Every Morning Sun Alone. Actually, no, you know what? We're not gonna play that one. And we're not going to play the Microtac release, which is also heavy as hell. We're going to play just Every Day You Grow Less Beautiful by Hiyush. Man, this is really deep stuff. And I love the pads that just come and like cut through all of the more mentally hypnotic stuff. So yeah, as always, I'm going to just shut up, let the track do the talking. And yeah, man, shout out Analytical Convenience. Shout out anyone in Portugal putting out music. We have a really good country with really amazing artists that do not have the recognition they deserve, just like Hardbark. Dude, your shit's heavy. All of our shit's heavy. And again, Analytical Convenience from Porto, Hiyush, love the collective. And I'm gonna let the music do this talking, as usual. veio ao Porto, caralho. Wow, wow, wow. Really happy to see something like this come out of Porto. Seriously, this is some stellar stuff. Really good, minimalistic, introspective techno. Just as we fucking love it. Again, shout out Analytical Convenience. This was a really, really, really solid output. You guys, you know what you're doing, so keep doing it. You guys are doing it, and that's all that fucking matters, honestly. So next up, we have Dold. This was released on Bassiani Records. If you don't know Bassiani, well, then you're sleeping under a rock, as per usual. But yeah, it's one of the biggest clubs in Georgia, right after Kitty. I mean, I would personally say it's a bit bigger than Kitty. At least I know more people that have been in Bassiani than in Kitty, but well, that's just up for me to grab. So we have Dold on Bassiani Records. The Revival Recordings is the name of the EP. We're going to be listening to Work Me. I've been wanting to feature Dold in one of these series for a while. I fucking love the dude. Stockholm-based producer and DJ. Then yeah, man, I just love his more like stripped down, tooly and introverted techno. I'm really into the more like deep introverted stuff. Just because I feel like it's what better conveys the journey, man, you know? And again, this is a very loopy track. This is a very tooly track. However, it has a really, really, really solid breakdown in the, more or less in the middle. But yeah, man, Dold. What else can I say? I mean, he had a really solid release as well on Fuse. Ride, if I'm not mistaken. I still play a lot of those tracks pretty regularly by myself. But yeah, really happy to finally be able to feature something from this dude here on the radio. This track is called Work Me by Dold on The Revival Recordings, released on Bassiani Records. And yeah, I'm gonna sign out and leave you with it. Bonjour, madame. Ça va bien? Or quoi, huh? Ah, stellar release. Again, Dold. This dude flied under my radar for way too long. It took me too long to really like recognize this dude. Honestly, stellar release. Yes, so many of these. It's insane. Really like this shit. Really, really like this shit. Reminds me of Amsterdam for some reason. More than Berlin, but hey, I'll fuck with it. I'm good. I'm good. No. All Gucci, man. I still have, like what? 50 minutes to go. Okay, so we have another release that we're gonna be sharing, and this is, oh my god, where do I even start with this one? You guys know about Fabric London? If you do, raise your hands. Okay, I see a couple people. I don't see anyone actually, but Fabric London, Rodhad. Fabric presents Rodhad. What the actual fuck? This is 29 tracks of just pure insanity, all unreleased shit by amazing artists. This is, if I thought I had a hard time picking a track before, like, this is, because from top to bottom it just all fucking works. I ended up going with Phil Berg because, man, I love the dude, honestly. I really love his output. It's very like deep, more emotional, a bit more melodic. It's really a trip. It's supposed to be listened from start to finish, which is the whole point why I picked this track. Man, if you know Rodhad, well, he's the dude that got me into techno, as Hardbark was mentioning. Top 3 dudes in techno out there. Like, his knowledge just goes way back. Like, what he does is just unmatched, honestly, unparalleled. There's just, I ran out of words to talk about this, and there's so many fucking solid people working in this compilation. You have Mathylands, you have UFO95, you have Ignez, you have Sama, Iron Tracks, DVS1, Riri, Casual Treatment, Bestahira, Jesus Christ, Holden Frederico, Elarico, well, Phil Berg, Rodhad himself, A. Morgan, Clint, Marcel. Guys, it's just, if you've not heard this compilation yet, go listen to it. Like, if you just buy this album, which, by the way, it's fucking £7 for 30 tracks, 30 bangers. You can just, like, run around with just this whole album in your pen drive and play wherever. Anyway, deep, melodic, mind-bending, lose your mind in it music. Just enjoy it. fuck was that? Jesus Christ, Phil. What is this track? Phil Berg, Photons. What a roller, man. This one just gets me going. What do you mean this shit costs £1? Go buy this shit. Even if you don't want to play it, just buy it. What a track. What a banger. Jesus. So we've reached the demo section, finally. So we have 3 demos now from the community. One from 131 BPM. Dude from Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. And this is gonna be released on Stepball Chain. The premiere is out on SoundCloud. It's called, the EP is called Ethereal Yarn. It's a bit of a different one from what I usually play. This is very ghetto-ish, very housey, very bouncy, very different, very different. But I feel like we need a bit of different here, so we're not just always fucking banging to techno. That's why I played some dub in the beginning, and that's why we're gonna listen to this now. Guys, this is amazing release. It's gonna be released in a week. Actually 10 days, yeah. So in the next 10 days you'll be able to listen to the full thing. I only have access to 45 seconds, so from this on we will move to the next demos. Next up is going to be White 08, so listen to this one. 131 BPM, Ethereal Yarn. 131 BPM. This one is called Bass Bits. Guys, if you have demos, send them over my way. Make sure I'll play them here in the radio. Get you some spotlight. Share your shit. Don't be afraid of just spreading the love out. Again, this is going to be released in 10 days on Stepball Chain. So next up, we have White 08. This is an untitled track, or at least it did not really tell me a name for it. I've listened to this in the club and it sounds banging. I'm not gonna lie, it's really sounding good. White 08, I believe his Instagram in the description of the set, or you can just at White 08 underscore on IG. You should be able to find him. I'm gonna let the track play and yeah, let him know what you think. Pedro. This is a good one, man. This is a good one. When can we see this shit out? And when are you coming to the podcast, my guy? When I have you over. It's a really solid track. Wide Awake, people. Untitled, or at least I don't know the name of it. Perfect layering tool. Very linear system type beat. It's probably gonna hate me for saying that, but hey, that's the truth. Next up, we have Moai with this track called MRI. Well, we've already seen Moai here on the podcast, so we know what he's been up to and what he's not been up to. So let's listen to his output post Buzzilar. People, again, feel free to send me over your tracks. Let me know whatever you want to share. Just send it over. I'll make sure to play it. This is gonna be the last one for today. Really, really good podcast. Really good episode. Really enjoyed having Enrique over. Really enjoyed all the tracks that I played and all of these demos that you guys keep sending. Hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'm gonna let this last Moai track play. Head out my way. And just let the dudes close up the store. I said sunny Lisbon, but it's pretty gray out. It's a good day though. Go enjoy yourselves. You still have the Vertis matinee going on. So go check that out maybe. And hey, people, I'm gonna leave you with it. Moai, MRI, Black Swan, signing out. See you next month.